All right, everybody, what's up? How are you guys doing? Shout out to everybody that was waiting in the chat rooms before the show. What's up? I see some people out there. They've dropped some comments in there. So shout out to all you guys. Welcome. We are here. It is Hoops and Brews. We are live. Sorry, we're a few minutes behind. Relax out there. But we're here. We're live. We got a special guest. I actually don't even know where you're joining us from. So actually, this is very intriguing. Jonny, where are you joining us from?
Central California, San Luis.
Oh, okay.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. You're not that far away.
Still in Los Angeles. So.
Okay. All right. You're not that far away. I thought you were like crazy far away or something like that. Oh, all right. Perfect. But anyways, it's Hoops and Brews. We're back with, with a special guest, special episode. This is a Thursday episode. We usually don't do Thursday episodes or during the week, unless it's like something crazy happening. But Jonny, we had to get him on. We love his channel. Pavy actually found his channel. So Pavy, I'll let you introduce our guest and why you picked him to come on Hoops and Brews.
I reached out to Johnny Arnett because I've said many times in the show I really don't watch TV, and usually when I watch TV, I'm usually not TV. I'm watching YouTube and making it into TV. I'm watching like some basketball centric content on YouTube, whether it be an old basketball game, whether it be a basketball podcast, or rather it be little slight little 10, 12-minute basketball documentaries. Mm-hmm. I came across Johnny's content. It's very historical based, which I like. I think I'm a historian of the game personally, and that's the content that personally I like to see. So I wanted to bring Jonny on, and hopefully we can get into some of your favorite teams, a little bit about the history of basketball a little bit, but I'll let you go ahead and introduce yourself and let the people know where they can find you at and what you do.
Yeah. First of all, thanks for having me on. And yes, you are a basketball historian. I've heard you guys talk about the game, and I've been impressed by just how well you guys know the game.
Thank you.
My channel is just all about the game's history. I grew up. I'm 30 years old now, but I grew up watching games from the 80s and from the 90s, all on VHS tapes. My dad did this thing where I'm so grateful for to this day, where he just recorded all of like every single playoff game, some regular games, and all the All-Star games from the 80s and 90s on VHS tapes. So when I'm like 5 or 6 years old, I'm just eating that up. That was my childhood. And so that has a fond place for me. And I feel like that's what I can kind of offer the YouTube community is, even though I didn't technically live through it, it feels like I did. I feel like I experienced it personally. So
yeah, I think I can speak for TBJ as well. Growing up in Chicago in like the 90s, like we grew up in Chicago in the 90s. So it's like even if you didn't like basketball, you liked basketball. It's like there's nobody who grew up from Chicago in the 90s who doesn't like basketball. It's like it's just what you did. Like my first memory in life is the Bulls winning 70 games. I remember it because I remember they won it against Milwaukee. The 70th game they won in 96 was against Milwaukee. The 96 finals is like the first thing I remember also watching on TV. Then we go to like the 97 All-Star game. Then the 97 playoffs. I remember when Alonzo Mourning elbowed Scottie Pippen and he had the knot on his head. Like these are my like first memories in life, not just with basketball. And that's just coming from Chicago and just growing up with Michael Jordan and I thought the Bulls won every year. Like I remember I had this banner growing up, and it's so old it didn't have the 98 championship on it. That's how old the banner was. And I remember it said like 2 years where the Bulls didn't win. I was like, yo, that must be wrong. And I drew on it and it was like 94, 95. And growing up, I realized, the Rockets definitely won in 94, 95. It wasn't the Bulls. But it's like that's just how much the Bulls were a part of, I think, everybody from Chicago's childhood.
Sure.
Yeah, I agree. I grew up a huge Bulls fan. My mother is a diehard Bulls fan. My entire life was spent being a Bulls fan, so I definitely can agree with that. And even just in terms of me as a kid, I used to go to at least 2, 3, 5 Bulls games a year, depending on the year and how good or bad they were. My mother. So I definitely, have a special connection to basketball because of, we just grew up in Chicago. Just growing up in Chicago.
Yeah, it's funny. I pay a lot of respect, in my channel to like the 90s Bulls and stuff. So I've been accused of everything, being a Jordan fan, being a Bron, whatever. And so it's funny because I've always felt like if you don't really appreciate basketball, like in the 90s, like or basically, if you don't have an appreciation for the Bulls, like you just don't like basketball in the 90s for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, of course, like at times it's going to seem like, I favor them but it's not really that. It's just that really like Jordan and the Bulls, and so to such an extent were the 90s for basketball.
Yeah. So I guess jumping right into it, I personally have a question that I want to ask you. I think the viewers will enjoy this as well. Maybe it can influence some people to go back and research. Tell me some of your favorite playoff series from the past. You said you grew up and your dad recorded everything. So tell me some of your favorite playoff series, not finals, because I think that the finals people kind of like know about it, whatever. But like some of your favorite playoff series that people may not realize, like, yo, that was a great series.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's so many of them. Let's see. So, anything involving the Showtime Lakers, I really like. It was really interesting when you'd watch the '80s Lakers take on a team with more of a slower pace, and just because the difference in like anytime they play the Celtics, I know that's finals, but they play more of a half court set. And then you get the Lakers, who are just like literally every time they get the rebound, they are sprinting, and it looks so foreign. Like it's just a different kind of concept. Let me see more specifically. So in the 90s, I believe it's 94. I'd have to go back and check, but the Indiana Pacers and the Orlando Magic.
That was a great series that people forget about. It's an incredible series that people forget about. Incredible series.
And Game 4 in particularly is like the finish. Yeah. I don't want to spoil it if you haven't seen it.
It's crazy.
But it is just fantastic. And there was a lot of like interconference rivalries, and things felt pretty intense that series. But just talent on both sides. So that's a really good one. Pacers, Magic. I think. Am I correct on that? I think it's 94.
No, I think it's 95. I think. Okay. I think it's 95 because I think that was right after the Magic had got past the Knicks, I think, and they were fighting to go to the final, if I'm not mistaken. So that's the 95 series. Yeah, 95.
Yeah.
See, those 2 years in basketball, those 3 years in basketball for me are annoying because they shortened the 3-point line. I hate the part in the 90s when they shortened the 3-point line. I hate those years in the 90s. It just really messed up the space. I just don't like watching those 3 years in the 90s per se, for me at least.
Yeah, I mean, the Bulls and, the 96, 97, 98, like, it's kind of fun to go back and watch. There's so much history there. You have the 72-10 Bulls and all that. But, like, there was hardly any offense. And I know, like, historians are gonna love that time. But, a lot of casuals aren't going to like it as much. And even myself personally, I watch it, and it's just like, man, like, they're just, like, dribbling up the court, like, such a, like, lackadaisical pace to it. And so, yeah, I was different. I mean, games today are like they're averaging, I think, 112 points a game, this 2020 season. And it was pretty close last year. They were averaging like 96, 97 points a game like that year. That's just like it's totally different style. And you can see it on the court,
Yeah, like if a team took 23s, that was like a large amount of threes in the 90s. Like the Rockets, per se, I think they used to lead the league with like taking like 17 threes. Yeah. Like if it was even 17, I might even be wrong about the number 17. But I guess before we move off of this, any other series that you really like, give us two more.
Yeah, a couple more. Let me see. So this one isn't quite as old, but it's not all that old actually. But I don't think it gets enough shine. Is 2009 Rockets and Lakers. And so you have Ron Artest there. And Tracy McGrady is out injured, so this is a big what if series too. And you also have Yao Ming gets hurt in like game 2 or game 3, but they still stretch the series to 7.
Still takes
like
7.
He's balling out. It's chippy. It feels like 80s or 90s basketball, but it's within like the 2000s. So that was just a great series. So I've kind of been nostalgic lately with Kobe. I miss Kobe. So I just go back and watch a lot of Kobe games. Like that's a really great series. And it's crazy because you're watching it now in hindsight, seeing like Ron Artest and Kobe go at it and like they become teammates the next year. That's pretty crazy. So yeah.
So my question to you are, go ahead. I'm sorry. You had one more to go, right? Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I said one more. Sorry, I got so wrapped up in that one.
No problem.
Another good series. Let's see. I'm gonna have to break it a little bit, but I am going to go finals 1980. No, not the finals. Western Conference Finals. So 1986 Rockets Lakers. And
when Ralph Sampson hit the bullshit. Ralph Sampson hit the bullshit.
Yeah. Well, he just like he does that weird kind of like
he hit the bullshit.
And they're like, like, so it's painful as a Laker fan, you know, to go back and see that. But at the same time, like there's so much going on in that series. Like Western Conference Finals, you know, possibly ended up being the elimination game, and like Ralph Sampson is like in a full-on fight, like throwing punches and stuff, and it's like, when do you see this now? You know, I'm not criticizing today's game for it. You know, I'm like, it's probably not good to be punching each other in the conference finals, but just kind of the interesting dynamic, and the quality of basketball was great, and it was just there's so much drama that kind of gets lost over time in a series like that.
Agreed. Also, I think that we talk about what ifs. I think that Rockets team is also a what if, because Ralph Sampson ends up getting hurt. They kind of go in a low for like, you know, a couple of years. Like, we don't really know what would have happened. I mean, because I personally think the way people talk about, you know, the East with LeBron, the West was kind of weak in the 80s. Really wasn't that many great teams. Wasn't that many great teams. So if, you know, we don't know what would have happened if, you know, Sampson and Olajuwon would have been a little bit more at their peak and been able to take on the Lakers for multiple years after that. But TBJ, you can go.
Yeah. I see all these fans. Stop trolling in the comments. I see all you guys.
I literally
I literally just spend my time. You guys are trolls. Stop trolling in the comments. Stop it.
What are they saying? I want to hear
it. Somebody just put up there. Kawhi Leonard has coronavirus. No, he doesn't. Stop trolling.
It's not that corona.
Stop trolling.
I had to like go to Woes real quick to make sure that like it was fake. I was like, yo,
trolling.
Wait, what?
I'm sick of this.
Dude, you gotta be trolling. You gotta be careful with that stuff too. So like, I was reading my comments the other day. I read all my comments, and somebody commented like on a video. It was like Piston. It was like a Pistons Celtics video or something like that. And somebody, rest in peace, Dennis Johnson. Now Dennis Johnson passed along. You know. So good comment. For some reason, I'm thinking Pistons, Dennis. So I'm thinking Dennis Rodman. So I'm like searching all over the web. I'm looking at Police Report. I'm like going crazy, like, no, Dennis, like I hate 2020. And no, Dennis Johnson.
I'd be mad as hell if Dennis Rodman died.
Yeah, G. Rodman can't go nowhere, man. Rodman can't go nowhere, G. Rodman can't go nowhere.
Like he's not going anywhere.
That's hilarious. But back to the talk. What do you actually think about the bubble? What are your thoughts on the bubble, and who do you think has the best chance to actually succeed in the NBA bubble, you know, with everything that's going on?
Yeah. Not feeling too optimistic about the Lakers' chances right now, to be honest.
Me too. I love it.
Yeah.
Talk that talk, Johnny.
I'm just a little bit nervous. They just have so many question marks. Like now you've got J.R. Smith coming up. You know, Avery Bradley's not going to be there. At what point, you know, is LeBron going to drop off a little bit? And everybody's freaking out right now because they see like his beard's got like gray spots on it. And everybody's
he's old. That's what happens to 35-year-olds.
And all I can say is like a Kobe fan who remembers watching the Achilles game live, like appreciate LeBron while you got him. If you're a LeBron hater, like stop. Okay.
I'm a LeBron hater, and I'm not stopping. I'm not stopping nothing. I will stop when he retires. Just like with Kobe, I was a Kobe hater. You know when I stopped the day he was, you know, about to retire. That last game, I was like, you know what, Kobe, I'm gonna root for you today. Go out there, drop 60.
All right.
But until he retires, no, the LeBron slander will never stop.
Yeah. So LeBron's gonna have to 60 farewell game, or maybe like a 20 assist farewell game for you to appreciate it.
It's definitely gonna be a 20 assist farewell game.
It's definitely, yeah. He gonna have 13 points,
15, 10, and 20.
No, he's not gonna have 10. He gonna have 13 points, 4 rebounds, and 20 assists.
He gonna get more than 4 rebounds.
On like 8 and 28 shooting.
He gonna get more than 4 rebounds. G.
He's gonna pass it to George Hill for the game-winning shot.
Nah, he gonna.
How do you feel about the J.R. Smith acquisition? Also with the Dion Waiters, you know, acquisition. I mean, obviously, I think that throughout the whole year, at least the one question I had was perimeter scoring. I didn't feel like the Lakers really had any perimeter scoring. I don't think they really had. I think they had AD, but they didn't have anybody else that I'm like, yo, I can like dump the ball to you, move out your way, and just go get a bucket. I think LeBron teams historically have worked best when they have had that guy, because LeBron, to me, historically has never really been that type of scorer. He can score, but not like I'm gonna just give you the ball, walk away from you, and just let you do whatever. So how do you feel about the J.R. Smith, Deion Waiters? Do you think it help? Do you think it's too little late? How do you feel about that?
It's more of the same for what the Lakers have had this year. I've watched most games this year. We have a lot of streaky shooters. Even Danny Green's been really streaky, and I remember Raptors fans were saying that when we got him, and that he can be a really streaky shooter. And I was like, yeah, whatever. Okay, I've seen his percentages. And then I watch a game, and I'm like, oh my god, dude will make like 6 in a row and then miss like 8 in a row. Like, what's up with that? But so I guess I'm. We'll see what happens with JR. Like, how long has he been out of basketball? And he's always kind of throughout his career, he's just been hit or miss. Like, he'll have moments where he just looks like he's just pure greatness, and then other moments where he just like disappears completely. And so, but we'll see. Avery Bradley, we're gonna miss him. The dude was automatic from mid range. He was a fantastic perimeter defender. Like, he's been so huge for us this year. And so that's kind of an aspect I'm a little bit worried about. Caruso's inconsistent too, but maybe if he could come in and just really be that dog on defense. Like,
really?
You're like Lakers the one Lakers fan who's been honest about Caruso.
Wait a minute. Everybody be quiet. Because Lakers fans swear to me, they swear to me that Alex Caruso is better than Paul George, or that somehow he is going to come up bigger than Paul George in the playoffs. Thank you. That man is inconsistent. He does not play enough, and he has no experience. Depending on him is like depending on JaVale McGee. You don't depend on them. No, you cannot.
You can depend on McGee more than you can. You can depend on McGee more than you can Caruso. I feel more comfortable with that. JaVale been to 2 finals and won them both.
Because he was playing with Steph Curry.
He still made great blocks.
JaVale fits in perfectly with this Lakers team. I feel safe depending on JaVale right now. He's done a pretty good job protecting the rim, but the Lakers with LeBron, they love running the pick and roll. And I can't tell you how many highlights I've seen this year where they set a screen, big guy dives, and LeBron throws a little lob pass and flushes it, and it looks so easy. Like, between JaVale, Anthony Davis, and LeBron, they have like so much size when they get down low. But yeah, I mean, Caruso, like, maybe he'll be there. I've seen stretches where he's good offensively. I'm hoping to get some 2015 like Matthew Dellavedova out of Caruso, like just get like really intense and like up in guys' face, like frustrate him a little bit. Like, if you could just be a dog on defense, like that's what we're gonna need from you. And so that would be cool. My favorite, I think the team that they've been my favorite since the beginning of the year, and this whole quarantine bubble, all that has just made me feel even more sure of this pick. But the Clippers, I mean. They have a lot of younger players. They're deep. They're scrappy. There's so much experience there. I just feel like they're going to come ready to play for playoff basketball with that intensity too. Like, they're just built for this. And even when we beat them, like, I remember all us Laker fans were getting so hyped because we beat like the Milwaukee Bucks and the Clippers. Like, it took our best effort to beat those guys, and we were
Jonny. If I could hug you, if I could literally hug you right now, I would hug you right now. If I could hug you right now, I would reach through this computer and I would say, Jonny, come here, give me a hug, bro. Because I've been seeing this. Oh, yeah.
You know what's funny? I'm kind of the opposite of most Laker fans, from the sense that everybody's delusional Laker fans that were always like overly optimistic. Listen, I've been a fan for way too long. I've been burned by too many things that I'm just like, if anything, I'm pessimistic. I'll talk my team out of their chances and all that. So I don't know.
Outside of Kobe tearing his Achilles, what has been your lowest moment as a Lakers fan?
Chris Paul.
I feel that. I feel that.
No, it's not. Jonny. Wait a minute. Jonny, wait a minute. We've agreed on everything. Wait a minute. We've agreed on everything. But there is no Chris Paul love on this side of Hoops and Brews.
On that side, I love Chris Paul.
What have you seen him do?
Chris Paul is one of my favorite players.
What have you seen him do?
One of my favorite players.
What have you seen him pull off? Nothing.
Okay. So he was
nothing. You didn't need him.
His best.
You still got 2 rings. You should be happy. You still got them 2 Kobe rings.
steals, athleticism. He was quicker. He was a better scorer. Like, just go look at his stats in New Orleans. Those were his best days, okay?
Yeah, and he didn't make it past the second round in those days, Johnny.
He played for. Like, the Lakers were his shot. So he could have been an NBA champion when the Rockets, when they played the Warriors, but he was out. He was hurt. And so that was his shot there. So he could have been a champion. And so, I mean, yeah. And with Kobe, like, they're both like just two alphas that feel like they would have understood each other from, like, they're both just more of the command and control type leadership. Like, they would have understood each other. Like,
back then, I didn't think it would have worked until I saw Chris Paul and Harden work. And I'm like, oh, damn, it would have worked. They also had D'Antoni coaching. And like you said, at this point in time, this isn't Rockets Chris Paul. Like, I think a lot of why the Rockets only went so far was because Chris Paul was just older at that point in time. He wasn't as quick. He could still score, but he wasn't scoring the same way he was. What?
They could beat the Warriors.
They could have.
No. They did not have D'Antoni coaching though, because they still had Mike Brown at the time. And
you're right.
Nash, and then because they got Steve Nash, they're like, let's go ahead and let's try to remove the 07 Suns and equip them with a 40-year-old point guard. What are you doing? And so one of my favorite videos is about that 2012-13 season. That was just the stupidest year of Lakers management ever. But I have another one for you, just like a nightmare memory. I have like a couple, but like,
go ahead.
Kobe hitting that jumper. And we were up 3-1 over the Suns in the 2007 playoffs.
And then Kobe decided he didn't want to shoot the ball no more. Kobe decided he didn't want to shoot the ball no more.
It wasn't that one, and I might even defend Kobe a little bit there, but that I would need like a video link to defend Kobe there. Like, there's a whole explanation there. But
he said he would need a whole. You need a whole. Like, I mean, hey, you don't need a whole video link. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I mean, go ahead. Talk about it.
Okay. So I watched every game the Lakers played against the Suns that year.
Okay.
Whenever Kobe scored more points, they lost. Every single time. Okay? You could go back and look at the stats. You can look at the points he scored each game. When he let the game kind of flow naturally, the Lakers ended up winning. I don't know why that worked for the Suns. Like, Odom's got to get involved. Sasha's got to get involved. Like, all these other guys, that was working. So, game 6, this was the game that really haunts me. Kobe drops 50 points. Okay? We're about to win this game, and there's a missed shot. And because we can't get an offensive rebound, the ball gets kicked out to, I believe it's Kurt Thomas. And he makes
Tim Thomas.
Makes a 3, and we end up losing the series.
I remember that game.
Well, it goes to game 7. Kobe drops 20. So after dropping 50 and losing in game 6, he drops 25 points, I believe, in the first half of game 7. And we're still losing for like 15 or 20 points. So it's just this theme of Kobe's got to get guys involved. And when I'm watching that second half, like, that's what it looks like. Like, everybody's interpreting that as Kobe quit. I'm seeing him like begging his dudes, like, hit these shots when I'm kicking them to you. Like, we got to get something going. And I know Phil Jackson said so many times, like,
Kobe, do what you want to do.
Get your teammates involved. We got to feed Shaq. In years past, he said that. Stop scoring 40. And so that's just kind of how I interpreted the game. And then everybody was saying, like, Kobe quit. And from what we know of Kobe, can you believe that? Like, Kobe was a dude who's out there shooting 2 free throws with a torn Achilles because he doesn't want to lose the game. He doesn't want Dwight Howard shooting the free throws.
It's true.
And so the consistency of what I've seen Kobe in the entirety of his career, I'm supposed to believe that as a competitor, he quit in that moment. Like, I have a better time believing what I originally felt as I was watching this series develop.
That's fair. Yeah. That's fair.
So, anyway,
that's hilarious.
The other one, this might be the worst.
Go ahead.
Okay. Last one.
Go ahead. You
can give us as many Lakers memories as you want. I'd love to hear Horford give us as many Lakers memories as you want. Go ahead, say them all.
You can
say
them
all
as you want to.
Right now, stuff that doesn't let me sleep at night. So
go ahead, tell it all.
That's fine.
Tell it all. That's fine. Tell it all.
We talk basketball.
2000. Oh, sorry about that. So 2008 NBA Finals, Lakers Celtics. Okay, and we're probably going to lose the series. We didn't have Andrew Bynum there. The Celtics are just tougher. I felt like once they got KG from the beginning of the year, they were the champions. But anyway, we make it to the finals. Maybe we got a shot. So we're going into Game 6 that night. We got to win the next 2 in a row. I believe they both got to be in Boston. So Game 6 in Boston. And I love basketball, but I'm like 18 at the time, and things have been going rough with my girlfriend for like a couple weeks. We officially break up on that night. that afternoon, okay? And so I'm already feeling like crap. I'm just
They got smoked by 40 and you lost your girl the same day.
39.
Damn.
39 points.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn, Daniel.
I was like, at least I got lit for basketball. Maybe it'll take my mind off of it for a little bit.
No.
And she
No.
was like, nope.
No. At halftime, that game was finished.
Yeah, that was bad. That's bad.
I remember watching that game because I remember me and shout out Scott. I think me linked up at all at like CJ's crib. We had linked up to like watch the game. Literally by like within 30 minutes of us linking up, we didn't pay attention no more. There was nothing to look at anymore. But within 30 minutes of us linking up.
Yeah, I think I didn't pay attention at the fourth quarter. I don't know what I did though. Like I couldn't do anything. I was miserable in every facet of my life. that was supposed to be my escape, and it failed miserably. So,
Fair.
That's absolutely hilarious.
I'm all right in the long
run. But switching subjects a little. I mean, like since we on the Lakers, obviously RIP Laker Kobe Bryant. What are some of your favorite Kobe memories? You as a Lakers fan.
Yeah. In a weird way. The Achilles game, everything that led up to that moment. I feel like it's just kind of a testament to the warrior he was. Kobe's my favorite player of all time. I don't believe he's the GOAT. I'm not going to go that far. MJ's my GOAT. If anybody has an argument, I believe it's Wilt Chamberlain. But
hold on, wait. How? Okay, we can go in after that. We're gonna talk about this. We're gonna talk about this after, but talk about Kobe.
But there's so many Kobe instances where it's like, Matt Barnes fakes the ball into his face and he doesn't flinch. Like so many legendary moments. Kobe gets his finger pulled out of its socket and then he just walks up to Gary Vitti and Gary Vitti pops it back in. Walks back like no big deal. The Achilles game, the fact that he broke his hand when he was still Froby. And he goes to shoot around and just shoots in his pajamas with just his left hand the whole time.
Yeah.
It's just the dedication of Kobe and any moment where his toughness and his mental toughness was showed off those are my favorite Kobe moments. Because that inspires me more than just basketball. As a person, I just look at that and I'm like, dude, that makes me want to do something. That makes me want to persevere through something,
Yeah, fair.
Yeah. Wilt?
Yeah, Wilt. Yeah,
ahead.
Why?
Go ahead.
So
I
think a lot of people take Wilt's accomplishments for granted. Okay, so I understand it was the 1960s, and you can argue that guys were less athletic then. I'll hear you if you want to say guys were less athletic. I think naturally, of course, we evolve and we get a little bit, stronger.
JJ Redick more athletic than half of them dudes back then.
Stop.
Even though JJ Redick the other day on Twitter called
a dunk shot,
he called a dunk shot. JJ, what the hell is a dunk shot?
They haven't used that term since the 70s. They used to use it in the 70s, but since the 70s, dunk shot got eliminated as a term that people use.
He's been watching a lot of old videos too, it sounds like. So
yeah, I've been watching the Lakers Blazers 1977 conference finals, and I'm about to watch the Blazers Sixers 77 finals. I was watching it because shout out Glass Malone. Glass Malone does not rock with Kareem, so I was I've been trying to go back and watch more Kareem Abdul-Jabbar minus Magic Johnson, younger Kareem, to okay, what was Kareem? What was he really like? But Wilt Chamberlain.
Yeah, so I can agree with you, or at least see eye to eye with you a little bit on the athleticism. But when myths start creeping in is when people start saying, "Oh, he just played a bunch of small defenders. They're all just all 6 foot centers." No,
he played Bill Russell, and Bill Russell used to lock his ass up.
He got 55 rebounds on Bill Russell.
That means somebody missed 55 shots.
Okay,
that means
sure.
That means he got 55 rebounds. You know how many missed shots that was, Johnny? Come on, G. Johnny, come on, G.
In the middle. Okay?
Johnny, come on, G. Johnny, G. I'm not changing the argument, G. Come on, G.
I get your point, but you changed your argument. You were like, "Oh, you always."
I feel you. I feel you because we was going back and we was talking about if Bill Russell could guard Anthony Davis, and I said no. And then we went and we talked about how many buckets Wilt Chamberlain gave Anthony Davis, and it's a lot of buckets.
Bill Russell.
I'm sorry. How many buckets Bill Russell? I'm sorry. How many buckets Wilt Chamberlain gave Bill Russell? And it was a lot of buckets. We literally went through the list and we started reading them off. one by one by one. And literally, it was a ton of them. So I feel you. But also, I was watching Prime Wilt highlights yesterday with my girl's brother. And everybody that was around him was little as hell except for Bill Russell.
So consider the fact that we have like 0.1% of Wilt Chamberlain footage. Okay.
Fact.
So
Yeah.
it's like,
Okay.
Pulling the best footages of him, even that, and a lot of the stuff that's going to be the best is 70s. And Wilt was
Yes.
a player.
Will was I've watched 70s Wilt. That shit was sad, bro. I watched like the 71, I think it was conference finals, Bulls Lakers. Wilt was sad. He had 30 rebounds, but he was sad. I'm like, yo, this cannot be. I called my dad and he's like, hey, yo, bro, Wilt. He's like, yeah, I don't really like watching 70s Wilt. 70s Wilt wasn't Wilt.
Yeah, and a funny thing about Wilt is everybody who witnessed him like playing in that time says this, that Wilt was kind of like, this is the comparison I make, but he was kind of the Randy Moss of the NBA, as to in terms of like sometimes he'd get the effort, sometimes he just didn't care.
Yeah.
That was kind of the stipulation or the belief of Randy Moss, and he even said things that kind of affirmed that. So did Wilt. He just wasn't always motivated. He did not have that Michael Jordan, that Kobe will. And so even some games he might not be as engaged. He might be not be as motivated. When people started saying like, "Oh, you can't facilitate," you're just too much of a ball hog. That's why you lose. He's like, "Fine, I'll lead the league in assists." And so he goes out and he leads the league in assists. And so you had to motivate Wilt. So even when you see like a clip, you have to consider that it might be the 0.1% of his footage, and then even then, like, is that the best version of Wilt that we're witnessing? But I think there's a lot of unfair criticisms of Wilt. One is he didn't win as much as Bill Russell. Well, there's way more Hall of Famers in the Boston Celtics. There was no free agency during that time, meaning that if you're winning championship after championship, nobody's going to leave. Why would you trade winning?
Somebody would counter that argument by saying, did their talent make them Hall of Famers, or did Bill Russell being on the team and winning so much make them Hall of Famers?
Don't just put that on Bill Russell.
Okay, true.
I'm just saying.
He used to be the main one that was saying he would let Wilt score until the last 4 minutes of the game.
And then he'll play defense.
Yeah, my argument for players does not come at the detriment of the other player. So I'm not going to say like Wilt's awesome and then feel like I need to belittle Bill Russell to prove that Wilt's awesome. Like,
that man said he would be JaVale McGee if he played today. That's disrespectful.
Nah, because there's have you seen that footage? Go to the Wilt Chamberlain archive.
I was watching it. I was watching. He's extremely big. He's extremely big, but all these guys today are extremely big like he was.
Not like Wilt, G. It's not that many people Wilt's size, bro.
10 inches tall, and he's running in a full sprint, bringing the ball up the court. He takes a foot inside the free throw line, takes off, and jumps over a dude and just lays it up.
That sounds like Giannis. Giannis better. Giannis is better than Wilt.
That's a different argument. Is Giannis they're like, oh, JaVale McGee's better. No. Okay,
I'm not gonna compare JaVale McGee to Wilt Chamberlain. That's disrespectful. Disrespectful.
The reason I don't like the size argument is because there are always players who are just, even Giannis is basically bigger than everybody else. Shaq was basically bigger than everybody else. Yao Ming was basically bigger than everybody else. They're always gonna, even LeBron to a certain extent, especially at his position, was basically just bigger than everybody else. Man. But at his position, they said the man was 6'9", 280. It's centers that ain't 280. They said the man played a game and gained 5 pounds mid-game, something like that.
Talk about Zion the Lion too.
Yeah. He's bigger than everybody.
I think size, when it comes to like players and modern NBA and everything, I think it's a little overrated sometimes. People are to say like he's a bigger player and stuff. Because think about defensively, like who was one of the best defenders on Michael Jordan? Like look at the NBA Finals. Who did the best job on him? Gary Payton. Like statistically, he held him to only 27 points.
Only
27. Go ahead.
Which is also why I didn't like the way Michael Jordan tweeted Gary Payton in that damn documentary. Don't be laughing like you ain't had no problem. Yes, you did have a problem, Mike. You did have a problem, Mike. Don't lie to me, Mike. We all saw that, Mike.
I ain't had no problem with him. You wanna know why? Because we won. So I ain't had no problem with him. Yeah. Still dropped 25 plus on his head.
Who was one of the best defenders on Shaquille O'Neal?
Dennis Rodman.
Exactly. And a much smaller guy, you know.
Wallace.
Who's one of the best defenders in the league?
Smaller too.
Patrick Beverly. Dude's like 6'1", okay? And
Russ would not agree. Russ would not agree.
Russ would not agree. No, Kevin Durant would not agree either. He put 50 on that man's head. And I saw it with my own 2 eyes, and I talked to him after the game. He put 50 on that man's head. And then Patrick Beverly told me, well, what you want me to say? He Kevin Durant.
Well, who's Kevin
But
Durant?
we wanted the smoke. But guess what? They got smoked.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean,
But hold on one second. Hold on. Speaking of that, I was able to find a clip of us talking about Wilt Chamberlain and Bill Russell and how many buckets Wilt Chamberlain gave Bill Russell. I'm about to play a minute of it, Johnny, so watch this. This is a throwback clip from 2018.
These are games they played. Wilt gave him, they played 94 games against each other. Wilt gave him 30, 45, 39, 22, 47, 44, 43, 43, 25, 53. Wilt gave this man 39, 26, 34, 34, 30, 39, 30, 44, 25, 46, 46, 34, 27, 47, 28, 41, 31, 52, 41, 62. I'm not done, dude. 62, 48, 38, 26, 30, 45, 43, 32, 23, 45, 50, 31, 40, 34, 23, 24, 35, 31, 28, 30, 32, 30, 24, 37, 24. Then Will started to get a little watch for a second. 8, then 31, then 30, then 16, then 28, then 27, then 27, then 27, then 30, then 27, then 28, then 31, then 37, then 14, then 29, then 27, then 32. He gave this man so many buckets. Oh my God,
he held that
bro.
man under.
Exactly. Did you hear that was like 2 minutes worth of buckets, and you heard a few 50s and 60s in there. But go ahead, Johnny. Talk that talk.
At this point, is that what you're doing? Because weren't you saying that like he was? Were you agreeing with me that Wilt's like not as great as advertised, or?
No. Look. You said he has an argument to be the GOAT. He can't be the GOAT because he didn't beat Bill Russell. But that don't mean he didn't give Bill Russell buckets. He was giving Bill Russell buckets. But we like Michael Jordan because Michael Jordan won.
Yeah, but Michael Jordan was in a league that allowed him to win. You could
Wilt Chamberlain was too.
You could come to the, well, hang on. You can come to the drug circus of Chicago and build up a franchise because you're allowed to trade for Scottie Pippen from the Sonics. You're allowed to sign guys in free agency. Like, they were able to build a team. It is so much harder to build a team in an era that doesn't have free agency.
They didn't have free agency.
You know, and so that
they didn't have free agency.
I just never feel like
yeah, but what about when he went to the Lakers? I mean, he did go to the Lakers.
He was older though. He was older. He was older. He
wasn't the same. He was older.
But
based on your argument,
he wasn't the same. But also, it was only like 12 teams in the league. So let's not act like the level of competition that with his team should have been stacked too. He had Wilt Chamberlain on it.
He was.
I'm talking about when in his younger days. Wilt should at least had 3-4 rings before he even hit the 70s. He didn't.
Let me put it.
He should have 3-4 rings before he hit the 70s.
If you have LeBron and the Cavaliers against the super team Warriors with Kevin Durant, does it matter how many teams are in the league?
It wasn't about he went on the. Come on, man, stop that. Stop that.
Stop
that. Wasn't nobody out there playing with Wilt.
I think he might have had like one Hall of Famer with him.
Jones, John Havlicek, like
and also player to player, Wilt is better than LeBron. As a scorer, as a force, nobody could stop Wilt Chamberlain. Player to player, yeah. Bill Russell even said, "I only guarded him in the last 4 minutes of the game. I just let him tire himself out."
But that goes more to Johnny's argument of why he possibly has a heat.
That goes more to my argument of why he should have won. Him and Jerry West, and I have mad respect for Jerry West. Shout out to Jerry West, very nice guy. Always give me a head nod, say what's up to me when we buy the ice cream machine at Staples. Well, formerly when we used to do that back before all of this COVID stuff. So I rock with Jerry West, a human being. But him and Wilt, they both should have more rings. And it's and people cannot make arguments for them to be GOATs because they did not do better.
The issue,
especially in a time when they were really like the first supreme versions of what they were, and they still couldn't win.
Yeah, but hold on, because I've even watched some of those last seconds of those Lakers Celtics game. The reason why the Lakers could never beat the Celtics was the Lakers had great guards, but they really had no bigs. They just really had no answer for Bill Russell. And most of those games, it wasn't like they got washed most of the time. They were losing like crushing fashion in game 6, game 7.
That's my whole point.
But
that's some Chris Paul stuff.
But listen, but listen, they didn't have bigs. Like, they would always have the guards, but I mean, they still had like Bob Cousy. You had Havlicek. You had other guards that could like match them, but they had nobody until they got Wilt Chamberlain, who was older, to be able to match Bill Russell.
Yeah, and I mean, when I think of Bill Russell and I'm arguing in favor of Bill Russell, I'm not thinking Lakers. I'm not. Okay, and he didn't have the most longevity. He didn't last as long. But it was when he was in Philadelphia. Like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, that's when he was putting up numbers. And that's the Wilt I'm thinking of. And he didn't have the same level of team. I will hear you out if you say Lakers, Celtics, they had more talented teams. Because when Elgin Baylor and Jerry West and Wilt Chamberlain got together, that was the first time the word, like, super team started popping up. Like, they were calling them a super team. So if you want to criticize him there, I'll give you that. But my argument is that that just wasn't the same Wilt Chamberlain. And if you look at the era, it's not
he's still averaging. He still was averaging 20 and 18 though. I mean,
20 and 18 is a far cry away from 50 and 20.
I mean, yeah, but you got the whole logo on your team. You have the logo on your team.
Listen to me, bro.
Listen to me, logo on your team.
Listen to me, bro. Listen, bro. If I saw a man average 50 and 28, and I see that same man average 28, 18, he's washed now. In my opinion,
I saw Kobe average 35, and I saw him average 22.
No, stop. Kobe in his prime, his MVP season was averaging 28.5 points a game. In his last season, he's averaging like 17.6. That's more than half. Wilt was averaging less than half the amount of points he did.
He averaged 50 though. That's like if James Harden finished his career averaging 18, we're gonna be like, oh, he washed. He ain't washed just because he averaged 18. 18 is still a lot. 18 and 18.
Not for him.
Yeah, the standard's different.
Yeah,
and actually, when
that's why he can't be the GOAT.
And actually, hold on. When he was in LA, he never averaged 20. The year he averaged 27, he got hurt. No, hold on. That was the year when he got hurt. I think he had like a knee issue. He got hurt and he averaged 27 and 18 in 12 games. He averaged 25 and 20, which is great, but not for Wilt. 20 and 18, 14 and 19, 13 and 18.
How many of them teams was Jerry West on? I don't want to hear that, man. That's weak, G.
How you spin a narrative. Because the same way you can say that he wasn't washed at that point, I could say this is what a washed Wilt looks like. How amazing is that? Like 20 and 18 isn't like nearly as close to his standards.
Pavy, you the main one to tell me players' prime is between when they 28 and 31. Wilt was 31, 32. He was 32 when he became a Laker. He wasn't washed. He was not washed.
He also
said numerous times in interviews. They said, what? Go ahead.
Listen. He got hurt. The year after his first year with the Lakers, he got hurt and played 12 games. He did. I was literally watching the game. He did something to his knee, and also I think Jerry West either got hurt or Jerry West retired one of those years. And then
he came back and played 82 games.
Yes, but bro, I don't know what exactly he did to his knee. Also, in that time, medicine ain't the same. Maybe you don't recover the same. Even if it's like a bad knee sprain, you may never recover from a bad knee sprain in 72 the way you would. Yes, but you used to average 50 and 20.
Gee, so what?
That's you. G.
So what?
You not
LeBron
the same.
Used to average 30. I don't criticize LeBron because he
don't
average 30 now.
You call a man washed all the time. You literally call him
because no. Wait a minute. But I don't call no. Wait a minute. But when have I ever once mentioned him scoring about him being washed? I call him washed because of all the other stuff that he used to do that he don't do no more.
He averaging more assists than he used to, and damn near averaging more rebounds.
I'm not talking about assists, and I'm not talking about rebounds. You talking to me about Wilt scoring. Wilt was still rebounding on par with what he was doing before.
No, he wasn't.
Yes, he was.
27, 25, 24, 22, 23.
Also, wait a minute.
24,
hold on,
23, 21. Then you go to after he get hurt, he get 18, 19, 18.
How many teams were in the NBA though? You also got to consider that too.
Is not
more
prime
people got added.
Lakers Wilt is not prime Wilt Chamberlain.
Wilt should have won more. That's my whole point. Wilt is not the GOAT. He not the GOAT for the same reasons Kevin Durant and LeBron James will never be the GOAT. because you can't be the GOAT when you play second fiddle, when you was the guy and you was the MVP and you was the one that everybody was considering to be the best in the league, but somehow you could never mystically get it done.
So
because when Steph Curry was considered to be the arguable best in the league for 3-4 years, I got a couple championships out of that.
In the league for 3-4 years.
Yes, he was.
No,
yes, he was. From 2015 to 2018, he won fucking unanimous MVP from 2015 to 2018. He won 2 MVPs. He won 2 MVPs and went to 3 finals. Are you serious? Are you serious? Are you serious? Are you serious? Are you serious?
2015 to 2017,
Are you
yes.
serious?
2014, no. 2018, no. 2018, no. 2018, he wasn't better than Harden. He wasn't better than KD. I'll give you from 2015 to 2017.
You're ridiculous.
But
tell small game James to go make a playoff or a finals, and then you could call him better than Stephen Wardell Curry.
Johnny, question. Because my argument would be, I think that Kareem has an argument. If anybody else outside of Michael Jordan is Kareem. Reason being is I think he has the best basketball resume. Now, you know, you can say that because I even think that Magic, once he came to the Lakers, was like the capitalist of the Lakers. Even like just watching like a lot of old Lakers games, what they were really missing and why they didn't win was they had terrible guard play. I'm watching like Lakers Blazers, they couldn't get the ball past half court sometimes. So Wilt even got, not Wilt, but Kareem even got to come out to which back then is a quote unquote outside shot. Right now, that's a regular mid-range jumper, but back then that's a, you know, a quote unquote outside shot. So even though like Magic was the catalyst of those teams, I think that when you look at full total basketball resume, you look at his MVP, you look at his range, you look at the numbers he put up. I think outside of Michael Jordan, and if somebody older than me wants to tell me Kareem is a GOAT, I can't really argue with you. All I gotta say is I feel you and walk away. So my argument would be Kareem. So what would you say for, you know, when you argue Kareem against Wilt Chamberlain?
I respect it based on your premise. And I think that's what people need to acknowledge when we're talking about the GOAT is the things that I value and how I'm going to interpret the GOAT are going to be different than you.
Fair.
If talking about the greatest resume of all time, by the end of it, we might be talking about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and LeBron. You know, because
Michael Jordan.
Yeah, but even then,
how can LeBron's resume be better than Michael Jordan when LeBron don't have 6 Finals MVPs?
I'm not saying it is, but people will say he has 40,000 points. He might win another championship this year. He has over 10,000 assists. He's a better all-around player. He can defend by position.
No, he's not a better all-around player than Michael Jordan. He's not a better all-around player than Michael Jordan. I disagree with that.
The numbers will look like it.
I disagree with that.
The numbers will look like it.
Yes, the numbers will, but the numbers will because of the same reason why Kareem numbers are crazy, because of longevity. It's exactly. Not if Michael Jordan played 20 years, then you talk to me about what his numbers would be. But longevity don't make you the GOAT.
Yeah, but
Cal Ripken played forever. He was the Iron Man. Nobody ever calls nobody ever. I've never heard anybody say Cal Ripken is a GOAT because he played a long time and accumulated a bunch of stats.
Like Barry Bonds, though. That's a great question.
He got Hall of Fame level numbers.
But does he have better numbers than like Barry Bonds, though?
You're yelling at him?
Yeah, but LeBron don't have better accomplishments. I'm sorry. Wait a minute. But LeBron don't have better accomplishments than Michael Jordan. So just because you have better numbers and you don't have better accomplishments, how does that make you a better player? I'm confused by that. That confuses me.
For instance,
Kareem is the only guy that can argue with Mike in terms of accomplishment.
Nobody
else in the NBA history can.
Bill Russell's probably more accomplished than Wilt Chamberlain. But because
you know what? I take that back. Kareem, Bill Russell, and Mike are the only 3 that if you want to talk about actual accomplishments.
But then it also, but then also go back to what do you value as an accomplishment? Because if you're talking about individual players and like numbers, I think have to go into it.
No,
championships are team. Championships are team.
People don't play basketball to accumulate stats. Stats are a byproduct of playing basketball. They are not what you play basketball for.
Okay, if it's all about winning, then it's Bill Russell. It's not all about winning. I can't give it to a guy who shot 44% on the offensive end when you're a center. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I want you to be dominant on both ends of the ball. And yes, he played an unselfish style of play. But if you're only averaging 20 points a game, shooting 44% from the field as a 6'10" center, I'm sorry. I can't.
Also, the thing about Bill Russell,
do you account for defense? You don't.
Yeah, but also the thing about Bill Russell number. But but then here's also the thing when you talk about, you know, context, especially for guys like older guys. The thing about Bill Russell is we don't really know his full stats. He might have been averaging a quadruple double. He might have had 10 boards and averaged 8 steals. And if the Defensive Player of the Year award was around, he might have won every single one of them. So we don't. But then it goes back to Wilt Chamberlain. He might have won some of them awards as well. We don't know what Wilt Chamberlain really averaged. Wilt Chamberlain might also average a quadruple double every game. So we really don't know we don't know all of their full stats. But the reason why when people go back and look at history, they put Wilt above Bill Russell is because of Wilt's individual accomplishments.
Right. But Michael Jordan has both. That's my point. That's why Michael Jordan is my GOAT, is because he has everything. There's no holes in his game. I look at the eye test. I see his athleticism. He has the accolades. He has the statistics. He has the championships, the MVPs, everything. There's no holes in his game. What I see people doing is they'll argue against somebody's argument because it's a different premise. And so if you're talking about who is the best player when they were at their best, well, then I could maybe argue, Wilt Chamberlain over Bill Russell. But if you're looking at the totality of the career and you value team winning more, then of course you're going to choose Bill Russell. And so that's the part that I feel like people ignore is like you're just valuing different aspects of their games.
I think contextually, Bill Russell played against the fewest amount of teams in the NBA history at that point in time. It was the fewest amount of teams that was ever in the league. There was less parity than ever in the league. If you want to talk about actual parity, the 90s was really where it was the most parity in the NBA.
70s.
No, not the 70s. The 90s. No, the 90s, but 70s, Jordan tipped the scales. 70s. No, but Jordan tipped the scales. Jordan did what I wanted Wilt Chamberlain and LeBron James to do.
70s.
And that's go out and dominate. 70s. Once you hit your peak, dominate and never look back. And he didn't. He didn't until he retired, came back, and then played for a franchise as an old guy.
70s, because you could even say that expansion weakened a lot of the teams because they put in so many new teams in the 90s.
Yeah, that's exactly why I said it's the most parity in the NBA. You don't know what parity means? It means everybody has an equal amount of chance to win.
Listen, and the reason why I said the 70s was you barely saw people get back to the finals. They had the NBA-ABA merger, so then you brought an influx of talent into the league with the talent that you already had in the league. So I would say the 70s is the only time in basketball history in which you really got true basketball parity.
I disagree with that. I disagree with that because also you merging two leagues, new players, new leagues.
Wait, Johnny, go ahead.
So, I mean, there is some evidence to what you're saying because the 70s is I believe the only decade where there was no back-to-back champion.
No back-to-back champion.
Champion every single year. And so, I mean, that kind of supports your case a little bit there.
I think Michael Jordan was a tipping scale. I think Michael Jordan was drafted in the 90s, and if you look at the 90s, I'm sorry. He was drafted in the 80s, but his peak was in the 90s. What was he? 6 years into the 90s before he won his first ring? 7 years, 5, 6. I mean, it was somewhere in between that span. He was from the 80s. It wasn't like he was drafted in the 90s. They also expanded the league in the 90s, which meant that every team had to lose some guy that was valuable to them. Which meant that everybody that lost somebody that was considered to be valuable to them, it affected their team. Like you literally add it was two teams, right, in the 90s? Did they add two teams in the 90s?
In the 90s, but that was in like the late 90s. And then you added, I think, in the late 80s, you added the Timberwolves, you added the Magic, you added the Heat.
What year was that?
Hornets. Like they all got added in late 80s. They all got added late 80s.
22 to 2019.
Yeah. 2029. Yeah, I think they all got added. I think that those teams got drafted. Added. I think the Timberwolves, the Hornets, the Heat, and the Magic
all started in 95. The Grizzlies started. The Grizzlies was founded in 99.
The Raptors was 95, and I think through 88 to like 91 or something like that. It was the Hornets, Magic, Heat.
So if you look at the 90s, you have a bunch.
Then you can say the Bulls lost no one. Like there is no key piece the Bulls lost.
Yeah, because Michael Jordan was a great equalizer.
No, they just literally didn't lose any key piece. BJ was still there. They didn't lose Scotty. They didn't lose. They didn't lose.
When they needed to win, who did they rely on? Michael Jordan.
All of them. The team.
Huh?
The team. Okay.
They relied on Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. That team was extremely top-heavy until they got robbed. It was. No, that team was very top-heavy until they got robbed.
I disagree with that because
Horace was an all-star 1 year, right? And actually, he wasn't even an all-star in Chicago. He wasn't even an all-star in Chicago, right?
Nah, he was. Yeah, 94.
Yeah, 94. Okay. Oh, yeah. And then
that don't mean they weren't good. Horace played his role.
Yeah, but wait a minute. But 94 was when Mike won there, right?
Yeah, but listen, hold on. John Paxson, key player. Craig Hodges played his role. BJ even came in, played his role. They had a very good, solid team. Role players make the team. They had a very good, solid team.
Mike was the great equalizer.
They even depended on John Paxson. He was on a documentary late in that game.
Oh, you learned that in a documentary. Oh, you saw that in a documentary that you didn't like?
I didn't. First of all, I never said I didn't like.
Okay. If you saw that documentary, you didn't particularly care for.
I never said I didn't like it. I said it could have been better, and I still think it could have been better. And I've seen that game mad times on top of that. But anyway, even when you go back and watch that game, down the stretch, it was John Paxson hitting those shots. Also, John Paxson shot like 60% that whole series. If your point guard shoots 60%, there's no possible way you're losing. So, like, yes, obviously, Michael Jordan, and if you want, you don't think Scottie Pippen was a superstar. Yes, Michael Jordan was the only quote-unquote superstar, but they still had a very, very good deep team the whole way through.
And the Los Angeles Lakers, hold on, wait a minute. The Lakers won back-to-back championships in the 70s, by the way. Oh, no. Actually, no, they didn't. No, they didn't. They went to the finals back-to-back. Never mind. They went to the final. Yeah, they went back-to-back. Actually, no, the Lakers won 2 championships. Actually, they won 2 championships in the 70s, though. They didn't go back-to-back, but they did win 2 championships. Yeah.
They go back-to-back.
They just alternated. That's all I'm saying.
But I guess we can move on for that.
Yep. All right, cool. So I guess I want to talk about Zion. Obviously, you're a Michael Jordan fan. People love to compare Zion to Jordan, LeBron. I don't really know who they. I mean, they do. They compare Zion to Jordan and LeBron. That's who I see people comparing to. I don't see people. I don't see nobody in their right mind comparing that man to Charles Barkley.
See a lot of people better than Charles Barkley.
That man already better than Charles Barkley.
Relax.
He is.
Relax.
He is. He's only 20 games into it, and he was out of shape. So let's talk about Zion. Zion looks to be in shape. He looks to be in shape now. What are your thoughts on Zion? How do you feel about Zion? How do you think he would perform in this season and beyond? And obviously you don't agree with me, but I'm sorry. I think Zion is going to be better than LeBron, I think. So he already going to be better than Charles Barkley. Giannis is already better than Charles Barkley.
Well, your LeBron high is pretty. Your LeBron bar is pretty low. So
my LeBron. No, it's not. It's actually very, very high. It's actually extremely high. It's extremely high, which is why I'm so upset that he didn't win as much. Which is the same thing for Wilt Chamberlain. My bar for those guys are set extremely high. Because when you are the best, this is the same reason why Kevin Durant will never, ever, 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 ever be considered to be the greatest player or even considered to be the best player of his era, is because he did not, on his own, as the guy, go out and do it as the guy. He went to the Warriors, stacked up, won his rings, and then even LeBron got one on his own. Or one where he deemingly did it on his own.
He didn't win enough.
Yes. I can agree with that. But also, I think KD. But also, I think if KD would have played better, and he's one of those players that I don't think has ever lived up to his truest potential. I think his truest potential was GOAT. But I don't think that's what he lives to play basketball for. We've never seen a player at his height with that skill. Ever.
I think he got too close to. I think he lived to true potential to Golden State. I think Golden State was the best version of KD you can possibly get because of the way that Steve Kerr used him. He used him the way he should have always been used. But Zion,
his fault for leaving. Go ahead. Yeah. But I think Zion has that potential. But I also think Zion has that dog in him. Go ahead, Johnny.
Sure. And I didn't mean bar in terms of expectations. I'm talking about how great they're going to be. But as far as expectations, yeah, I get what you're saying. But Zion's nice, man. And I'm hoping they don't try to turn him into this guy who's just shooting a bunch of like perimeter shots and stuff. Like he's shooting 60%. Like for a while, he was shooting like 60% from the field. I haven't checked his numbers.
No, he's still shooting above 60% from the field.
Yeah, so he's just super efficient. And when you're shooting like the way they equate that.
Well, you know what? Actually, no, he's shooting 58.9% from the field goal range, 46% from the three-point line, and 64.5% from the free throw line. His effective field goal percentage is 59.9. His PER currently is 24.2. He's averaging 23.
You froze.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, froze for you too. Well, all right, then I'll just keep talking. Yeah, so I love Zion. I hope they don't try to just turn him into a perimeter player. I don't see – I mean, I've heard the Charles Barkley comparison. I have heard that. But I see a combination of Charles Barkley. I see a little bit of Sean Kemp, and I see a little bit of Dominique Wilkins.
Sorry if I went offline. My computer
I like that. I like that combination. Charles Barkley, Sean Kemp, Dominique Wilkins. I like that.
Charles Barkley, Sean Kemp. I like that.
He could finish. He's got that build. And, like, dude, I mean, he's still growing into his man body. Like, he isn't even in his man body yet. And he's just, like, bullying people down low in the paint. And so, yeah, I'm excited about him. The biggest question mark is, can he stay healthy? And so before you go, oh, he's going to be better than this guy, his explosiveness, his size, the amount of, like, weight that he carries around with him, like, that's the kind of guy that could get a really big injury. So
I think he only needs to play 10 seasons to be greater than Charles Barkley, which puts him top 20 all time.
Where do you rank Charles Barkley all time?
Somewhere in between like that 15 to 25-ish range.
Okay. Yeah, I'll take that.
I don't think he's better than Steph Curry, KD, D Wade, Dirk, Duncan, Kobe, obviously, Shaq, those guys. I think he's more so in the class with like the, kind of right below the David Robinsons of the world.
Sure. I mean, Charles, for me, might be the greatest player who never won a championship. Like, he shot 4
I'd say Karl Malone. Karl
Westbrook is.
Yeah, I mean, Karl, I'll put it this way. I feel like Karl, from when watching them, I feel like Karl had the better career when they were at their best. Charles was better. That's what I think. Yeah, because he was really good. He was putting up nice numbers, but Charles really started putting on a lot of weight in the later 90s. Like, he didn't have longevity. If he took care of himself better, he could have had some mean numbers, but he just didn't do that. Like, by the time he was with the Rockets, he was already starting to be washed up a little bit. So.
Fair. For me, I mean, Zion looks great, I guess. I mean, we didn't see a full picture of him, but I mean, it looks like he lost. I mean, I don't know how many pounds he lost, but it looked like he lost some weight. Like, he looks a little bit more toned. I'm with you. I think injury would always be a concern for a guy like Zion. But I think even with Zion, I think his body is big enough that even if by God something did happen to him, he could still find a way to go out there and get 20 and 10 just because his body is so big. My thing with Zion has always been his rebounding, though. Well, not has always been, but when he was playing, obviously TBJ brought in the thing that he wasn't in shape. My thing is he should be leading the league in rebounds. If not leading the league in rebounds, he should definitely be leading the league in offensive rebounds. And if he doesn't do that, then I'll be disappointed. I know he'll be able to score, but I'm more worried about his defense and his rebounding, personally. I think he should be an all first-team defender for at least maybe 5 to 8 years of his career, and I think that he should be the best offensive rebounder in the league every single year.
Yeah. Well, he might get. I mean, the dude's we've just seen his first year. And, I mean, if you look at some of the greatest players of all time.
We've seen his first 19 games. We didn't even see his first year yet.
Exactly. That's what even further proves my point. Is like what I've seen from him so far is scary.
It's incredible.
Yeah. So my turn. I know the fans are ready for me to unleash. We saw it in there. Zion, the Lion. Y'all hated on my nickname, and now all I see when people tweet me about Zion, they call him the Lion. Zion, the Lion. I know, shout out to all of y'all that want to hear what I have to say about Zion. Zion specifically, I think him coming back into shape is the best thing that he could have possibly done for himself. He said yesterday in his, or today, I believe, whichever day it was, in his Zoom, media availability, that, he did not work out with any other players, that he spent the majority of quarantine working out and trying to get in shape. And when he was playing basketball, it was only him and his stepfather that was playing basketball together. And that's essentially how he worked himself into shape. And he feels as though he is in shape finally. And he's ready to go. And he feels as though, finally he is in a place that he needs to be. I think this is the scariest thing in the world for LeBron James. LeBron James. You better be worried. You better hope Zion, the Lion, does not come through and make food out of these hyenas that are the Lakers right now. Because all of these B players out there, especially if Dwight Howard don't play, which he said he wasn't, but then we already know what happened when that check get the calling. You pick up that phone. Hello.
I think Dwight.
Check. Is that
Dwight on the minimum deal, G? I think that Dwight.
It don't matter. Hello, check. Is that you, check? I can't hear you, check. But even more reason for him not to do it because the check ain't there.
I think he might just want
to. So if Dwight Howard ain't there and the Lakers play the Pelicans in the first round, Zion, the Lion, is going to run wild all over Orlando and all over that Lakers home court parquet that they got installed in the middle of some random convention center. Don't play no games with Zion. I told you he gonna be better than LeBron. I told you Luka Doncic will be better than LeBron. Luka gonna be better than LeBron. So watch out for my two sons to come out in the playoffs and go crazy. Zion, the Lion, and Luka Doncic. You heard it here. So remember I said it. That's it.
So here's a question I have for you guys.
Zion, the Lion.
Do you feel like Zion, like everybody talks about him getting in shape, everybody talks about him losing weight and stuff. Why is that narrative so strong? Because for me, like just real quick, when I look at Shaq, what's Shaq's best years? When he put on all that weight.
Yeah.
I actually kind of sort of
see. He don't like Shaq when he.
See, hold on. I kind of. I honestly.
He don't like 03 to 0. I honestly don't really like Big Shaq.
I honestly think some of Shaq's best year were like 98 to like 2000. Honestly, to keep it G with you.
That's when he got big, dude.
But he got bigger after that. Like 02, 03, okay. Bigger. So like what Big Shaq are you talking about? Because it's like different versions of Big Shaq. That's different versions of Big Shaq.
2004, Kobe's chewing him out like right before they split up. Big, like I'm talking like when he puts on, like he's not Orlando Magic Shaq.
Okay.
All the masks. And when I look at Zion, I don't go, oh my God, like the dude's just so big, like get a hold of yourself. Like no, he just got a lot of mass to him, and I feel like he can use that to his advantage. And I saw Shaq do it. So when I hear people talking about this, I'm like, sure, it might increase his longevity. It might make me worry less about him hurting himself when he lands. But, I mean, dude, part of his skill set is that body. And so I don't know if I necessarily want his game to lose that. That's just me.
Pavy, you can go ahead. You can talk because I have opinions on this, obviously.
I mean, I don't think it needs to be. I think he said it was 285. I think 285 at 6'6" is a little heavy. I think that even if he lost 20 pounds, he's still probably almost the heaviest player in the league. I mean, I think he could probably. I don't know how much he lost. I think he could stand and be more like 265, 270. I mean, I think that because you gotta think if you 285 right now, like you said, you haven't got your man body. You get your man body, it's probably like 10, 15 pounds anyway. That puts you at 300 pounds. I don't know how much you really want a 300 pound 6'6" player. Could it work? I mean, sure. But like you said, but like for longevity, it's probably not the best thing. Worry about lower extremities, back, things like that. But yeah, I'm not one of those guys who thinks he got to lose like 40 pounds, something like that. Like, nah, if he's 265, 270, he'll be fine.
Yeah, me personally. Yeah, go ahead. Me personally, I don't think that Zion needs to lose any weight at all. I think that he needs to work on eliminating the fat in his body. I think he's a person that is extremely muscular. And when he's fat and he has fat on his body, that's when I'm worried about him. If he's just a chiseled 265, 3% body fat, 5% body fat, perfect. That's you probably at your optimal, body weight and body fat because of how you're built. But
like
it's
Karl Malone more than
yeah, exactly. Because Karl Malone, a lot of people don't remember. Karl Malone was a guy that was known for having a huge body, huge arms, massive legs, massive torso, massive head. Yeah, especially later on. Was he juicing? We don't know. But Zion is that big already, right? So he just needs to chisel himself out, refine himself, lean himself out. Like LeBron has never gone for bulk. He's gone for lean. You know what I mean? Which is what has allowed him to continue to be better because he focuses on
except for Miami.
Yeah, but my only argument against that, and I'm fine with you saying that, but that's a natural progression. Every NBA player naturally bulks up 6-7 years in their career. Even look at Dame. Dame was a guy that was smaller in stature, and if you look at him now, he's a lot more muscular and bulkier because he put on that weight.
Yeah, but what I would say about that was that LeBron got to be about whatever he was in Miami. Do you remember that first year back in Cleveland? He had back problems. And then he came back. I think he lost a little bit of weight. Now he looks a little bit slimmer. But those couple years in Miami, LeBron was huge.
He like Miami, big as hell to me.
No, I've seen Bron in person. I've dapped Bron up. Bron is actually slim. Like he's like in person, he's actually slender. Like obviously he's hella strong, but he's slender. Miami LeBron looked like a cyborg. And then he had the back issues when he came back. Remember, he took that 2 weeks off that first year in Cleveland, went to Florida to kick it with D-Wade, and came back windmill, and I don't know what the hell happened. But yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, look, I'm just looking at Zion. I just want him to just go and chisel his body out, and really focus on his dexterity, his mobility and his ability to be able to stretch and be able to stretch his muscles out. Because I think that for him more than anything, honestly, I think the best thing Zion can do would really be to get into yoga, especially hot yoga, because then that'll allow him to shed some pounds while he's doing it, but also work on his ability to be able to stretch his muscles, because he's a guy that once they start to load up the paint on him, and I said this on the Chill Takes podcast when I was interviewed this week, I said Zion is a guy that has to develop that LaMarcus Aldridge like 14 to 18 foot jumper, and if he can do that, he can be unstoppable. And yes, he can. Yes, he can. I think he does. He needs to get a jump shot because they're going to load up on him in the paint, and then he's going to be coming down on people's legs and ankle. It's the same problem Derrick Rose had. Derrick Rose, what happened was they started loading up on him in the paint. He was still doing foolish stuff. He was still doing, but also we have to think about this. This is Zion's had 2 knee injuries. His shoe exploded before, then he had a knee injury and had meniscus surgery. If I'm not mistaken, was it the same knee or was it different knees? I don't know. It doesn't matter. I'm just asking you a question. I don't know, but it doesn't matter. It's still just as bad because he's a guy. You don't want 2 knee issues. I mean, 1 is bad. 2 is even worse, especially if you hurt your knee when your shoe exploded and then you tore your meniscus in the other knee. So he's a guy that needs to focus on getting in tune with his body, getting in tune with being able to stretch, to be able to move in awkward positions, so that way when he's trying to maneuver, because I was also watching a lot of tape of him the other day, and he's a guy that likes to go left, and he's a left-handed player, and a lot of people don't realize that about him, but even when he's going right, he has to get his right hand more refined, and he has to be able to hit a 14 to 18-foot jump shot. I don't even need him to hit threes. That 14 to 18-foot jump shot, even a pump fake, that pump fake alone is going to pause that defender, and as big and quick as he is, his first step should allow him to explode and get to the rim, be able to elevate easy buckets. If he can't do that, they're going to back up off him like they do Ben Simmons, and then we're going to be talking about how Zion can't score against teams in good defense. And you're going to be slandering him. Remember why I said that on July 2nd, 2020. The reason why I disagree with that is because I actually think Zion's first step is quicker than Ben Simmons' number 1. I also think that he's skilled in the post. Like, if you give him the ball about like on the block, he can actually do moves. I think Zion needs to just work on his post game. I think that he needs to pull up all the Zebo footage, pull up some Kevin McHale. Like your body is so big that once you put it on most people, bro, even if they're taller than you, you can shield you and they can't block it. Then your second jump is probably the best second jump in the league. That's why I say these should also lead the league in offensive rebounding. But that's energy he has to waste. But one thing I think that makes Zion so great is his energy. I think his motor is also quite possibly the highest in the league. I want to use that motor. You can't keep that up at 285, 6'6" forever. See, that's eventually. So that's why I'm saying he has to develop. Yeah, because even if, I'm sorry, I'm gonna let you talk in 1 second. Because even if you look at a guy like Zebo, right? Zebo was a big guy and he could play great on the post. He could use his weight and bully people around. But if you left Zebo, you couldn't leave Zebo open. You couldn't leave him open for 3, but you couldn't leave him open when he was inside of the arc because he could hit any shot from inside of the arc. That wasn't his bread and butter, but you couldn't leave him open. And if he hit you with a pump fake that allowed him to get you in the air or get you off your balance, he hit you with a couple bangs, whether it be with his big body or obviously his first move wasn't that. And also Zebo, another guy, left-handed player that is a big guy. So Zion has to develop a jump shot. Memphis also didn't have shooting. Or they're going to make him. But also we don't know what his teams will look like in the future. I mean, I hope some damn shooting. Yeah, but you play with him on NBA 2K. You say he plays on only bad teams. So he has to be a guy that has to develop his game beyond just being a guy that's going to be in the paint. Otherwise, they're going to load up on him, and his career will not go the way I think it can. And he has to be a 3-dimensional player. Otherwise, he will fail in the NBA. And I mean that.
We have to see because, I mean, making adjustments in a playoff series, win a 7-game series, like that's where it matters. That's why I feel like D'Antoni can have talented teams but never wins. Is because you know what you're getting from it. Is they don't adapt. They don't make adjustments. And so maybe Zion gets into a playoff series and they kind of figure him out and he's not able to make adjustments. But my question is, what kind of player do you want him to be? Because we keep on bringing up Shaq. I'm like, Shaq doesn't have a jump shot. I
don't want him to be Shaq.
If you want Zion to lead the league in rebounds, he's good where he's at. Like, he's the size, the mass, like you want that. I
don't want him to do that. I don't want him to do that.
The only
he's
thing
not
I don't
going to
want
survive.
is to get hurt. I mean, meniscus tears are a big deal. It's funny how it's all coming full circle because the knee issue is kind of being a theme right now.
That's why I don't want him to do
That
that.
yeah.
That's why I literally just said Zach Randolph. Zach Randolph did not depend on athleticism to be effective.
I'm not saying Zion has to either. I'm saying depending on your size. Rebounding has nothing to do with athleticism.
Randolph had a jumper. He had a jumper. He did not have a jumper. Did Zebo have a jumper? Yes or no? Did he have a jumper? Yes or no?
But listen,
so that's my only point.
Listen. Zebo had to have that because of the team he plays on. If you put Zebo in the league right now, he's playing center, and you put him with spacing on the court. And Zion is also a pretty good passer at his size. If you double Zion, he will find whoever. So I'm more concerned. I think
Zebo wasn't a good passer.
Not like Zion.
Zebo was
not like Zion.
Zebo's not as athletic as Zion. So you can't see it in the vastness of what it is. But if you talk about body types, they about what in terms of the same body type, except for Zion is a little bit shorter, but way more athletic.
No, Zebo's nowhere near as strong as Zion either. Zebo didn't have the muscle Zion.
Zebo was a strong player. I disagree.
He ain't got the muscle Zion got. G.
Zion might figure out.
Zebo was a longer version of Zion. Zion is a more compact, athletic version of Zebo.
Zion will figure it out. He's not just going to shoot layups and dunks like his entire career. He's played 19 games. Okay, so
he hasn't done that during his 19 games. But he has to keep it up, and he has to hit that 14 to 18-foot jumper, or they're going to seal him off, or run a zone against him, or a soft zone, and he won't be able to do anything.
I think that'll come.
Because anybody can say what they want to about Luka, but you can't call Luka a one-dimensional player. You can't. He's not a one-dimensional player. He's a rebounder. He can pass the ball. He can also score. He can also shoot when he wants to, and he's decent in the mid-post.
Yeah, but what
one-dimensional?
Huh?
Is one-dimensional?
Is who?
He's on one side of the court. That's for sure.
Who?
Luka. I'm like, he's
rebounding ain't a part of defense.
It's a part of defense. You can't interject until you get a rebound.
You can't almost average a triple-double and be giving me 8 rebounds a game, and I'm saying you ain't playing no defense.
I think
because you got to even crash to the rim to get a rebound.
Not really anymore.
It's like 3 points.
All his rebounds coming off of missed threes. Come on, man. They all clank it out super far.
Yeah, kind of with their shooting.
Oh my God! All right. Okay. Well, if that's the case, then LeBron rebounds don't mean nothing now either. So y'all talking to me earlier about LeBron rebounding and how this is good, so he ain't washed. That rebound don't mean nothing either because he getting long rebounds. They clanking off the side iron from threes.
I'm not going to use rebounds as an argument.
I said he is not a one-dimensional player. I didn't say he was a defensive player. I said he's not one-dimensional. And if Zion does not learn how to shoot in the mid-range, he is going to be one-dimensional. They're going to turn him into a 285-pound slasher.
That's not really one-dimensional. For one, he can get the ball off the glass. He's quick. If he gets in transition and he's sprinting to the rim with 2 people on the outside of him, who the hell taking the charge from Zion?
That's why it's hard for me to criticize his game or say that he just can't keep doing this because when have we last seen a player like Zion? Have we ever seen a player like Zion? You know, like he reminds us of Charles Barkley, kind of reminds us of Shaq, but I see a whole lot of Sean Kemp in there too.
I see a lot of LeBron James in him. I don't understand why he's not a passer like LeBron James, but I see people act like LeBron wasn't a guy that ran the break. Most of his greatest dunks came from him running the break. LeBron was usually the first one after a rebound. If it won the point guard or if he went in the front court, the first one back in the back court getting the ball to lay it up or dunk it. I don't understand why people bring up all of these other players that were just dunkers. I don't want Zion to just be a dunker. I don't just want him to be a slasher. You can't be successful in the NBA just being a dunker and a slasher. You can't.
Kemp wasn't just a dunker and a slasher.
No, I know that. I didn't. Yes, but what is he known for? He's known for dunking. That's what he's known for. Zion has the potential to expand his game and be known for more than just dunking. And that's the only way he's going to be as good as I think he can be.
Nobody said he shouldn't expand his game. Like, he should expand his game.
Yes, but that comes with that jump shot. If he can't shoot a jumper, what good is he going to be if he can't shoot a jumper?
He'll be very good. You can post up. You can have a hook shot. You can rebound the ball. What you mean how?
Who is he shooting over when he posts up? Every post up move he going to have to take is going to have to be within 4 feet of the rim. He's 6'6".
No, you can shoot a hook shot from like 8 feet away.
He don't have a hook shot. That's what
Get one. That's
No, get
expanding
a
your
14
game.
to 18-foot jumper and then
I
make
just
them
don't
pump
think-
fake and drive to the rim and annihilate
I
them.
just don't think
You want him to develop a hook shot. You know how hard it is to develop a hook shot versus a 14 to 15-foot jumper? You want him to develop a hook shot.
I just don't
a
think-
hook
I
shot.
just-
In 2020,
don't-
a hook shot.
Yeah, why can't you use a hook shot? That should still work.
No, you
I
can use a
just-
14
I
to
just-
15-foot jumper.
But
hook
yeah,
shot
but I just
you have to learn it early on. I mean, Kareem was doing that ever since he was a kid. Like, that's the way he shoot. You go out there and you try to shoot a hook shot, you're like 3 feet off. Like, that's not just something you all of a sudden equip to your game.
I just hate that we're in the era in which we think everybody needs to be able to shoot the ball. Like, no, I don't think we did do. I think that Zion can use his size and be effective for years. Just get you a post move, get you some post games, run the break, rebound the basketball. He'll be fine. And also, I like the way that they get him going on the run sometimes as well. I like how they get him going on the run. Like a lot of plays, he'll be coming off a curl and coming to the rim with momentum. And again, we're in
You ain't never
2020.
seen Hakeem Olajuwon play basketball?
I agree
What?
with you both. I agree with you both because I don't think he needs a 3-point shot. Okay, I'm
He can
tired
shoot
of
in the mid-range.
I'm tired of them pushing 3-point shots on everybody. He doesn't have to be a 3-point shooter, especially if he's shooting basically 60% from the field. Play to your strengths, dominate down low, and then as you're a slasher, kick it out to the open guys as you bring in the double. Like, that's what you should do. But I get what TBJ is saying. You know,
But I'm not asking him to have a three-pointer. I just want him to be able to hit a 14 to 18-foot jumper. Literally, if he can fill up that back part of that shot chart instead of the three-point line, his center in the middle, right by the rim, is going to be red. But if all of it is just in the middle by the, where the rim is, everything else is going to be cold. He has to be a multifaceted scorer on offense. And that doesn't mean shoot threes, but that means you have to be able to play within the mid-range and inside. If he was 7 feet tall, you wouldn't be hearing these arguments from me.
I mean, I think
but
he
he's
can-
6'6".
I mean, I think he could use a corner three or like a wing three when like somebody is wide open. I think you can like run a pick play instead of him rolling this time. He just drops back and just shoots the ball. I just don't think like that mid-range game for Zion isn't just something that I think he needs to have. I'm sorry, at least
Could
not
you
yet.
imagine if LaMarcus Aldridge had Zion Williamson's athleticism?
Okay,
That's what I'm talking about.
but because
What
isn't
do you
LaMarcus
mean,
like
though?
7 feet? Isn't like LaMarcus like 7 feet?
But he don't make his money off being 7 feet. He make his money in the mid-range.
He also makes his money in the post too. He's also a good post scorer, and he's also.
And
a
I
really
just
good
told you
rebounder.
Zion can play in the post, but get a mid-range. All I'm saying is get a mid-range. It's nothing wrong with him going out and getting a mid-range.
what does he-
Also,
if it's not a mid-range game, what does he need to work on? That's my question.
Exactly. What else is there to work on? He's shooting 40% from the three-pointer line right now.
I think keep getting. Okay. Hold on. Wait. The 40% from the free throw line is skewed.
I'm sorry.
The 40% 3-point line is skewed because
How?
most of it came into one game, and I think he made like 1 3 after that. For one, I think he could work on his free throws. He's going to get fouled all the time. If he can shoot 78% from the free throw line, I think that even adds hold an element to his game because he's going to get. He's probably going to lead the league in free throws every single year he plays.
He's taken 13 threes and made 6 of them. Stop being disrespectful.
Most of them
to him.
came in the first
It doesn't
game.
matter.
Most
It
of them
still
came in the
happened.
first game.
Averages
bro.
are not what
I'm just
happened in
saying-
one game.
I'm just
Averages
saying-
about what happened in
I'm
all
just
of the
saying-
games.
I'm just
You
saying.
don't
the
average
3-point
stuff because of one game.
I'm just saying
It's
the
because of the
3-point
totality
line.
of
I'm just
it.
saying
What are
the
you talking
3-point.
about?
I'm just saying him shooting threes is skewed because he made most of them in the first game. The first game is where he made most of them. So him shooting threes is a little bit skewed.
Any good shooter is going to tell you that if you improve as a free throw shooter, you're going to improve as a shooter anywhere on the court. And so that's going to naturally, I mean, he's working on 15-footers the whole time he's working on his free throws. I'm kind of agreeing with both of you and seeing both of your sides here. Like, sure, he can work on his free throws. Sure, he's going to work on his mid-range. There's overlap there, but I do think he needs to expand his game. I also think the dude's played 19 games, pretty freaking awesome as his. That'll come,
Fair.
Yeah. But anyways, man, Jonny, man, we definitely appreciate you for coming through Hoops and Brews and chatting with us. You're welcome to come back anytime you want to chat, talk NBA, argue with us. It's definitely very, very fun having you on. We really both enjoy your channel, enjoy your content. Do me a favor after we finish, email me one of your favorite videos. I'll make sure I post it on our YouTube community so that way our YouTube community can check out your content as well. We definitely appreciate you for taking the time to come on Hoops and Brews. We appreciate everybody that watched tonight's Hoops and Brews. Make sure you all please drop a like on the video if you're currently watching this right now. Drop a like right now, drop a like, and make sure you also hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed. Jonny, please talk to the people, let them know where they can find you at on the internet. We appreciate you for coming through Hoops and Brews to talk with us.
Yeah, guys, thanks so much for having me on. It was tons of fun. I'd love to do it again. But yeah, you can find my channel at Jonny Arnett, JONNYARNETT. I just do a lot of basketball history, a lot of the 80s and 90s and stuff. And yeah, it's tons of fun. So I'd love to see you guys come along. And I'd love to do that again. That was a blast.
Hey, dude, seriously, whenever you want to come and argue, if you're like, hey, I just want to hop on and argue and not do my, and not work on my videos, just shoot us an email and we'll, we pretty much are producing and putting up content, if not daily, at least 5-6 times a week. So anytime you ever want to be a guest on any HNB Media content, you're more than welcome to, including if you're just like, hey, I just got some videos I want to promote. Can I hop on a couple of the podcasts that you guys have on the channel? You can feel free and we'll, set you up with the other podcasts that we have on the channel. We really want to build this for creators to be able to come and have good conversations, clean fun, enjoy themselves. As always, this has been Hoops and Brews. You can find me, it's your boy TPJ, on Twitter at Instagram or Twitter at RealTPJ. That's REELTPJ. It's a film joke. If you don't get it, you damn dummy. And as always, this show, co-stars and stars, rapper extraordinaire Pavy. Go ahead, talk to the people. Let them know where they can find you at.
As always, man, follow me on Twitter at Pavy World, Pavy World, all one word. Make sure you guys check out pavverse.com. Should be some new music coming out soon. And yeah.
Yes, and as always, we appreciate you all for watching Hoops and Brews. If you're over the age of 21, please, as always, drink responsibly. If you're under the age of 21 in America or under the age of 18, you better be fucking drinking. Don't do it. It's wrong. You can go to jail, and these cops out here doing wild stuff. So you don't even want to give them a chance. So don't drink if you're underage. Please drink responsibly. If you're over the age, don't drink and drive. Shout out to Jonny. Jonny, what you pouring up? Some Jamo over there?
What's it? I'm a whiskey guy.
Oh, okay. I got the Hennessy VSOP right here. You know what I mean? See, Pavy, you should have came through. I had the whole Hennessy VSOP. You should have came through. We would have had Jonny on the TV. We would have been here. You know what I mean? But as always, man, it's been Hoops and Brews. We love you guys. We appreciate it. We will be back either probably on Monday, right? Monday. I don't think we need a 4th of July episode. So we'll probably be back with Hoops and Brews on Monday, unless we get another, guest in between time. Until then, make sure you hit the subscribe button as always, like it, and we will get up with you all next time. This has been Hoops and Brews. And hold on, really quickly, Jonny, I didn't get this from you. Who do you have as the person or the team? Number one, who's your Finals MVP pick, and who is your pick currently right now to win the championship? Because I don't think that we asked you that. I know you said you like the Clippers, but who's your Finals MVP pick?
Kawhi. I mean, I hope to God I'm wrong. It would be the worst thing for the Clippers to win over my Lakers. If they eliminated the Lakers at some point on the year that Steve Ballmer buys the Forum. Like, oh my God, that'd be so bad. So yeah, but I think the Clippers are going to do it. If I had to bet money on it, that's what I'd go with.
Who do you think will be Finals MVP?
Kawhi.
Kawhi? Alrighty, cool. So, anyways, we will get up with you all next time. Thank you, Jonny. We definitely appreciate it. And we will get up with you all next time on Hoops and Brews. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we will talk to you all later. Until then, peace out.